Create your own authentic personality that can support you rather than all the time trying to fix others. I feel like one of the roles that we have taken upon in this world is that I am going to be the one guiding my spouse. And I feel like that role in itself is very, very difficult to do, because the one person your spouse doesn't listen to is you. And if you decide to take on that role, guess what? You've created constant conflict in your life for no reason. Now, how do I deal with a spouse who is always self-praising himself and demeans the wife and talks about his looks, how handsome he is and how smart he is in handling life? You know, the job of a spouse, I'll tell you, not at earth plane level but at a soul plane level, is when the husband or the wife is flying too high, their job is to balance them by bringing them down. If they are in the pit, then their job is to bring them up. So you'll often notice that what the spouse lands up doing is, if the spouse is flying too high, if he's on a pedestal, if he's all the time in self-praise, then her job becomes to balance him by bringing him down. Now, if he's in the pit, let's say someday your husband has a bad day at work or is feeling low and down, guess what you're going to do? Pull him up, correct? So that's the basic job. Now, if you have a man who's constantly in self-praise, automatically you're going to start to feel like your role is to bring him down. But you know what the problem with this is? That this role is not something you chose, but that has been assigned to you. So my suggestion is, get very, very mindful of, is this a role you want to play, or do you want to give him the permission to, stay in his self-praise? Whatever he's doing, if it's working for him, let it work. We start to think that, no, I need to balance him out, or I need to show him another way, or I need to, if that's how he wants to live his life, remember, superiority complex comes from an inferiority complex. As his life starts to fill up with real stuff, he won't feel the need for this level or this amount of self-praise. The problem with self-praise is, the more you praise yourself, the lesser you give other people the opportunity to do so. So while what he's really looking for is other people wanting to praise him, in the process of self-praise, he's actually making them think the reverse, because the world gives us the opposite. So when we self-criticize, what does the world say? No, you're not so bad, so ugly, so whatever. And when we go into self-praise, they go, but you're not that handsome or that. So what the other person is always thinking the opposite. So when you go into too much self-praise, guess what your husband is going to land up receiving more of? Not very great comments. True or not? You must have already been seeing that, right? So what do you want to do about it is really the question. For me, I don't want to play any role. I want to just be me. If you're choosing to be that way, I'm going to allow you, because I don't want to participate in your, whatever you want to call it, inferiority complex that is showing up as superiority complex. I don't want to participate. The day, whatever I genuinely feel, if you really think he's good looking, give him a compliment on that. Whatever you genuinely feel what he's saying is not true, leave that. Create your own authentic personality that can support you rather than all the time trying to fix others. I feel like one of the roles that we have taken upon in this world is that I am going to be the one guiding my spouse. And I feel like that role in itself is very, very difficult to do, because the one person your spouse doesn't listen to is you. And if you decide to take on that role, guess what? You've created constant conflict in your life for no reason. So what if you said that, this I allow you, and you let him be, and you let it go, and you're okay with it, and you start to build yourself up. At least what I can learn is, by looking at him, is that I don't want to be that. So I feel like a lot of conversation within yourself is required for you to be able to handle him. My one suggestion to everyone here who's married, do not become the teacher of your spouse. Okay, rather I'm even going to say the opposite thing. Do not judge yourself through the eyes of your spouse. Do not become the teacher of your spouse. Avoid these two roles. Both will throw you in the pit eventually. I feel like, I don't want to fix Puneet. I want to love him. for who he is. Let him fix, let his mom fix, let the world fix, whoever wants to fix him. I want to be able to love him. And when we drop judgment and love our partner for whoever he is, even the rights, even the wrongs, I feel the relationship evolves. Otherwise, we can get stuck in this you fix me, I fix you, and that constant need to fix one another. You know what I mean?